Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico.
Dude, what the f? Why are you f***ing here, man? You're so old. Where's your wife? Go home to your family, dude.
And today we're here to start off another wonderful week's worth of content. Well, yes, where YouTube will steal my ad revenue. Nico! No, this last video in particular made me highly upset. It was the Jiro and Omar video. And basically, YouTube let me hit 30K views and then went, oh, we're going to give you your ad revenue now. Don't worry, we checked it. It just took 2 days. You're fine. I'm sitting here like, the video I posted about Jacoby and Grandy Glaze got ad revenue immediately. But the video where I said no curse words, where there was no cursing, okay, girl, work. Work. So, that's the thing with YouTube. But before I get too big into that, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, weekly lives, and to be a part of the live streams that happen every Thursday at 5:30 and 7 p.m. CDT with a multifaceted panel that we have different discussions on every week. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in. And make sure to check me out on TikTok. So my friends are trying to get me into TikTok. So essentially, if you like my YouTube videos, I'm going to start doing information gathering on TikTok. So basically, I'm going to do a 1 to 2 minute videos where I discuss the information that I've actually gathered. I'll ask y'all if y'all have heard anything different, if y'all have anything else to add to the story, and I'll probably add it into the YouTube video if you guys have anything else to add to the conversation. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check me out on TikTok. Don't worry, I'm done doing thirst traps on there. Girl, I'll leave that to Instagram and Twitter. If you want my brain and my humor, check me out there for a small synopsis. But now that we got that out of the way, let's get on to the actual video. Today, we're actually going to be talking about TikTokers. Nico, we're actually going to be talking about TikTokers. We're going to be talking about Raymonte, Malik, Deandre, and Davey. So, I put these three on one hand and this one on the other because they were ganging up on him. Y'all not gonna jump her. Y'all not gonna jump her. In the words of Cardi B, y'all not gonna jump her. Y'all gonna have to go through me. No, I'm joking. I'm actually gonna be very unbiased on this. But it's funny because I know of them because they're like gay representation, but I don't know what they actually do or talk about because I'm not on TikTok like that until recently. So when I saw this all happen on Twitter, I was taking it all in because there are so many different aspects of the story. So let's get into the tea. This is essentially, I'm going to start with what we know and we're going to move on from there. There's a lot of text, so it will be boom, boom, wherever the pictures are to align with what they're saying. This essentially started behind the scene. It originally started because Davey was having a mental episode. And from there, Raymonte recounts how he tried to be there for Davey. He said that he reached out, that he came to his door and left food and phone numbers to call mental health facilities. And he was there in spirit and in person trying his hardest. And Davey said, I did not witness any of that. And I'm not going to sit up here and say like, oh, one or so-and-so is lying. What I will say is that if somebody's having a mental episode to the point that they're being taken into custody, I don't think they're completely there enough to be aware of what other people are doing. So maybe Raymonte did do these things, but Davey genuinely didn't see or hear about it. But from there, Davey began to talk to their mutual friend, Myron, who I'm assuming is this person that hopped into the dialogue saying broken hearts and posted a picture of all three of them. And then Raymonte said, bitch, you messy because you're the one that started all this. So Myron made a space for Davey to feel comfortable enough to vent about Raymonte. So from there, Myron decided it would be messy and fun to split up their dynamic by secretly telling Raymonte what Davey was saying about him and how he basically made a joke about some of his past trauma. So from there, Raymonte and Myron then made a plan to set up Davey so that they could catch him talking about Raymonte without him knowing. So essentially they did a 3-way phone call. You know how you used to do a middle school with flip phones was a thing? Somebody would hop on the line, they would mute themselves, you would call the other person, That's essentially what they did. So Raymonte didn't actually let it be known that he was secretly listening to Davey and Myron talking shit about him, because Myron had participated. He made it a safe space to make it feel like Davey could come on here and talk shit. So he secretly ambushed him, and rather than addressing it, rather than unmuting the phone and say, bitch, that's how you really feel, he decided to take it to social media and to live streams and talk about it. Davey said, at that point, you're sitting here talking about it on live streams, you're talking about how we fell out on whatever the fuck social media. I'm not going to address it because I don't want you to think there's an actual problem. But it also stems from Raymonte feeling like he did not get the proper public appreciation, because when Davey had finished his mental episode, he basically thanked everybody that had been there for him. He thanked everybody that had reached out and did something, but since he had no recollection of Raymonte doing these things, he didn't at him. So Raymonte felt hurt. Raymonte decided to unfollow everybody that Davey thanked, including Davey, and then they finally had a phone call. And Davey said, the first thing out of your mouth was, I have a bone to pick with you. Meanwhile, I just got out of the mental health facility, and that was not the conversation I was expecting to happen. Raymonte basically discussed how he didn't see his name under the post thanking him. And Davey basically said, I didn't know you even saw the post, because normally when you see my post, you like or comment, and you didn't comment. Raymonte decided to hone in on the comment aspect of it and said, oh, so this is all because I didn't give it traction, I didn't comment, and the falling out was brewing behind the scenes. Follow with me, stay with me, bitch. I know it's a lot. So from there, Davey essentially started throwing subs, because I'm not gonna be obtuse about it. Girl, if you know half your crew has fake teeth in their mouth, why would you randomly put out a tweet saying, I love having my real teeth? You're messy. And that's the thing. It's because you know half the bitches in your crew have fake teeth and they big and bulky. So you know they fake. But it's the fact that after that, somebody decided to comment, so you're just gonna shade your friends? And he said, I don't understand how you adding that into the conversation. If I said I'm happy about having the real teeth in my mouth, why do you think that's shade to them? And essentially the person went, blah, 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 blah. You know you shady. You know what you're doing. That's why you got shot and Malik is on Vogue. So that was a comment, and it took everybody out because you know you got shot but Malik is on Vogue. Crazy. Crazy to say to a complete stranger over a complete stranger that you do not know. So moving forward, someone made a comment saying, my real teeth look like y'all veneers. So Davey decided to quote that tweet saying, oh, but when I said it. And then Malik hopped into battle. A lot of people believe Malik hopped into that conversation for the sole fact that he does have veneers and he felt hit, because nothing in this would point directly to Malik as having a problem, especially because after this tweet, it comes out that he didn't have no problem with him. So Malik basically came out and said, you know, even if your intentions were not to be shady, you saw that it was perceived that way and you decided to do nothing. And I'm just going to address it so Raymonte doesn't hop in here, because he's going to be seen as the aggressor. Meanwhile, Raymonte was not mentioned whatsoever. So at this point, Malik is the one that brought it to the internet. So they continue to go on, and Malik is basically saying, you being messy, you being mean is the reason why your career is stagnant, and you should be happy about the platform that Raymonte gave you, and you shouldn't be trying to shade him even though you were a terrible friend. And Davey is like, first and foremost, bitch, I had a platform before Raymonte. I sat my camera up and I trauma bonded with people through my stories. So first and foremost, I will not say that Raymonte did not give me a leg up, but he did not create me. Secondly, you saying that my career is stagnant, and yet I'm signing the same 5-figure deals that y'all are. So I don't know what you're talking about, because I did it in only a year and a half. Follow with me. So from there, Raymonte decided to come online and confront Davey about everything that I basically just recapped to you. And they had a brief back and forth where they basically came to the understanding of, bitch, we live in the same building. If you really got a problem, come say it to my face. And from there, Deandre decided to hop in. Nico, who is Deandre? Corporate Black Excellence. I think that's his persona online. So the persona and energy he tried to come with, it matched, but it didn't land. For the sole fact that he tried to also jump Davey with the other two people basically coming in to say, Well, we're in Paris right now. So, anyways, and I don't like how Deandre and Malik both tried to go, we have more money than you. It's tone deaf, especially in this conversation when it's about friendships and dynamics along with the recession that we're in. Girl, you bragging about, oh, I have more money than you. Meanwhile, they were all technically in New York City for Fashion Week. So he was not in Paris when this happened. They were catching a flight to Paris for the TV special that they were promoting mid-argument because all publicity is good publicity, I guess. So at that point, I thought it was just like a publicity stunt. But then Davey clocked him real quick and said, if I were you, Deandre, I wouldn't be speaking up because the person you're defending gave me your tea and bitch, I will clock you. And Deandre didn't send out another tweet. And I'm just sitting here like, this is the problem with social media dynamic friendships, as in like, oh, we're all friends, we're all popular on social media, we're cute, it would be a cute photo op. You bitches have no loyalty, because the fact that Davey felt comfortable and confident enough to say, baby, sit down, I know your tea, and then you shut the hell up. I mean, he clearly things are being said. So at this point, the other three go out to do their HBO special and leave the timeline to sit and discuss what's actually happening. And genuinely, most people were saying, first and foremost, if this is an issue between Davey and Raymonte, Malik and Deandre hopping in is overkill for the sole fact that y'all are trying to defend Raymonte when this is a personal thing between the two of them. Secondly, Malik is the one that brought it to social media, and then Raymonte and Davey continue to fuel the flames because, in theory, Davey was shady, but the shade was never named, so it could have been applied to anybody in the vicinity with fake teeth. But I also understand where Malik was coming from. But Davey explained the tweet saying I wasn't being shady about my teeth. I felt like if I deleted it at this point, it would be perceived as shady, so I just left it up. So with all that information at hand, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all. Who do y'all think is at fault in this particular situation? Do you feel like it's Davey for being shady without putting names on it? Do you feel like it's Malik for hopping in there and naming everybody involved? Do you feel like it's Raymonte? Because this kind of did stem from, first, Myron and Davey having these conversations talking shit about Raymonte, but also Raymonte feeling not appreciated because he didn't get a shout out on Davey's mental health post. But I definitely want to hear your opinions down below because honestly, I had never tuned into any of these people. I think I seen Davey's tweets on the timeline, and that's where a lot of people were saying, like, I heard about Davey before I knew about Raymonte. I knew about Raymonte. I don't watch that content. I just don't. Like, I'm not one of those people that sits down and watches people exist. Like, unless you're talking about something like social commentary or you're providing entertainment in like a skit or something, I don't see the purpose in just sitting and watching you be you. You know what I mean? Like, I actually watch people that, you know, contribute to a dialogue or something. So once again, I knew Davey, but not in association with Raymonte. So I do want to point out that Malik is kind of tacky for trying to say, oh, you should thank Raymonte for all your success. And you're broke and we have deals and we're in Paris. It's tacky. It's all tacky. But with that, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all and I'll see you guys next time. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Eon714 and Jordan M. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you once again to everyone who supports the channel. And this week's live stream will be a virtual hangout, seeing as how it's going to be the day before my trip back home to see my family. I want to spend it with my girls and end it out right. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in.